We make it complicated. We make it tense. We make it confusing. We make it tough. Go with me to Psalms 37. I'll read a little bit of scripture to you here. We're going to read from verse 1 on down to about 21. But this is the choice and decision that people's got to make. They got to make in their life. And then if they do, they'll find the promises. If they don't, then they won't. And whatever they do. Psalms 37, verse 1, the Word says this, Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the worker of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord, and do good. So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and He shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy ways unto the Lord, trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass. And He shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, as thy judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for Him. Fret not thyself because of him who's prosperous in the ways, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger, forsake wrath, fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, they shall diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, and he seeth that this day is coming. The wicked hath drawn out the sword, and hath bent their bow, to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such to be upright conversation. The sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bow shall be broken. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and the inheritance shall be forever. He shall not be ashamed in the evil times, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and their enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat lambs. They shall be consumed, into smoke shall they consume away. The wicked borroweth, and prayeth not again, but the righteous soweth mercy, and giveth. For such as be pleased of him shall inherit the earth, and they that be cursed of him shall be cut off. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and they delight in his ways. It's pretty plain. What I think that the Lord is clearly saying. That what we were just talking about. Number one, that we tend to look at people who seem to prosper in doing what we know is wrong. And it bothers us. Why they seem to be prospering and I'm miserable? Why do they seem to be gaining and I'm all to pieces? And the Lord says clearly that one day they're going to be cut down like grass. They'll be cut completely out from under, and they're going to fall. What may be appearing to your eyes is not what is really going on. We pay too much attention. We pay too much attention to situations around us, is what He's saying. But if you just learn to understand and be meek and be patient and wait upon me and let things happen and progress and realize you're built for one purpose, to glorify me, I have your steps ordered. I have everything ordered if you'll just follow what I have for you. And if He's ordered them, He's went before us and made the way. John the Baptist was sent to make the way straight for the Lord. So who's sent before us to make our paths right and make things right for us and prepare things? There's things right now around you being prepared whether you believe it or not. 3.5 years when this was set in motion. God had already started things in motion, I believe, well before that, to get this vision that's going to happen set in motion. He started things with other people that we don't even met yet. We've not even seen them yet. He has started things with them since the beginning that they were born to put them in place to do what God has to do. He starts things that we're not even aware of. The people beg for help. Here it took them a long time to beg the Hebrew children. They didn't even know little Moses was born. Didn't even have a clue that he was on the way. And the first attempt that he made, he about got killed to try to help the Hebrew children. And had to go away for some 40 years to his father-in-law's place to be protected. Then he came back and rescued the people. But during all that time, you think that they were at peace? Or you think that they were chaotic and miserable? Being slaves, being driven, being working hard and everything that they do. You think that they were trusting in the Lord and hanging on to Him, or you think that they were trying to figure out ways of escape and wondering why the Lord wasn't answering their prayer and why ain't He working on these things when God's saying, I'm working on it. You just got to be patient. A tree just don't grow overnight. I'm growing Moses. He's growing over there. You're not even aware of him. You don't even know where he's at. Moses was, I don't know how far away he was, but he wasn't nowhere near Egypt. He was away at his father-in-law's place. But he was coming. He was coming. But we did not allow, and they did not allow God to do what He's going to do. We don't allow Him to follow through with everything because we think He's not answering in the situations of the storm. So we try to figure out a way to get into more monies like the mining. We try to figure out bigger veins of seams, or we try to figure out, well, if we go this way, it'll be easier. When He's just saying, just follow the footsteps I've ordered for you. Follow what I've given to you. Follow it. It's simple. It's a simple path I've given to you, and you're getting off of it. And the reason you're not going to find peace in it because I love you enough to get you back on course. I'm not going to bless you in your path. I'm not going to prosper you in your path. I'm not going to give you gain in what you think's best. What you're going to find is destruction and chaos and more misery, more anger, more upsetness, more problems, more downness when He's saying, you know where you missed it. You know where you're supposed to be, and now you're making an excuse that you can't get back there or you can't go forward in what I'm asking you to do. You won't step out of the boat we preached here recently. We won't step out like Peter and trust Him and say, can I walk on the water too? No, we're fearful we're going to drown if we step out. We're fearful we're going to be broke up if we step out. We're fearful of what we see around us. So therefore, we don't want to get out. Oh, this is my only protection. I'm going to tie a knot in my rope and hang on to what I got. Because I fear hell too much. Yes, you should. I ain't trying to say you shouldn't. But in the midst of all of that, He's saying if you just keep your eyes on me, on your path, and on what I've got, you'll find the prosperous things. You'll find the prosperous course, but you're not finding it. Because you got off the course somewhere. You got off the seam, you got off the situation, you got caught up in all the problems, you got caught up in the situations, therefore complication and confusion come in. And you're trying to figure out, what do I need to do now? Lord, why ain't you answering my prayer? And He is. He's not letting you be content off His path. His hands is what we got to understand. The potter's hand is trying to work on us. How does God work on us? He works on us with life situations. He works on us with those things that happens in our life. Things don't happen by chance. We talked to, me and Sandy, to a couple of young ladies last night. And the two messages really spoke to one of them. I could tell that things in her life is holding back. First time I met her, I could tell. And that's what I told her. There's something in you holding you back. And we began to find out that, some things, and she needs to make some steps. And when she does, she's going to find that more peace, that misery that's building up in her. Because the Lord is trying to speak to her. He's not going to let her find that peace and that joy when she don't follow the steps that the Lord has for her. No more than He will for you. No more than He will for me. If I don't want to follow the steps He's got for me, then don't be complaining about the misery and things that we go through. Because you're not going to find it on our path. We're only going to find it when we follow the ordered steps that He has for our entire life. And we stay on that course no matter what you face, no matter what comes at you, and you don't